it seems that people who are asleep are easier to be manipulated, and the government slash media are using this to reprogram people, mainly with catastrophic events. Why do catastrophic events make it easier to program people?
What you have just described is the fundamental disease on planet Earth. Unconscious people, I'll be more polite and say people that are not fully conscious and are affected by everything and everybody, can be manipulated and are manipulated. And the so-called deep state, those manipulators behind government, behind religion, I mean, all religions, all of them, and behind these belief systems, use this manipulation to control people. I don't want to get into politics, and I won't, except to say you see it present day in our divisive society. So when I say half, by the way, I use that as a speaking instrument. I'm not saying literally half, but half of the people, say here in America, are against the other half and want to demonize one another. Liberal versus conservative, Democrat versus Republican, left wing versus right wing. Those that think Trump was sent by God and those that think that Trump is the second coming of Hitler. These are all manipulations resulting in people behaving unconsciously, and they are easy to control. How many times have you read that some young man shot, killed, knifed another person because they were dissed? They were offended. They were disrespected. It is impossible to diss or disrespect an awake person. Impossible. So, sure, it's very, very easy to manipulate people without being too sardonic. Even presidents of the United States are easy to manipulate. You compliment them and you tell them how great they are, and you completely can undo them. You are in their inner circle. If you criticize them, unless they are a very advanced individual, and usually they're not, you're the enemy. You're on the other side. So this is the absurdity of mankind. Only an individual that becomes conscious and awake can be truly unaffected by and not manipulated by the behavior of others. So if somebody were to say to me, Jim, you are incredible, you're wonderful, you're unbelievable, it literally has no effect on me. None. If somebody says, you're a fool, you are a joke, you're deluded, you're mentally ill, it has absolutely no effect on me. One must get to the realization that individuals that treat others like that, that's their issue. It's not your issue. There is no one on earth that can define who you are unless you allow it. There is no one on earth that can define who I am. So Gurdjieff refers to it as having a grip. but most people lose their grip. So I'm going to make 2 more comments about that if I can. Gurdjieff will use a term like, he may exist, but he is not. He is not. He truly does not know who he is. So I would say, to make a point, okay, that forget about this guy Jim, okay? Forget about this guy Traitz. Look beyond that for who and what the true self is behind this arbitrary name, Jim Traitz. Gurdjieff finally makes a point by saying, and again, remember, he had an Armenian Russian background. So in talking to an individual named Petrov, he would say you have to separate I from Petrov. So one of the methodologies is, from if working on myself, to remember, and it's a continuing effort to separate I from Traitz. Forget this guy Traitz. This guy Traitz, who is a creation of all of the influences from when he was an infant right up to the present. Got to put traits aside and be I, the true self.
Science's conception of matter.